Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? How much money you got in there? Okay.
This marks the very moment when police pulled over a combat veteran and took his entire life savings.
He says it's $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
I must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
On February 19, 2021, a retired Marine is pulled over by the Nevada Highway Patrol when he makes a bizarre confession, leading officers straight to a huge stack of cash. As surprising as this is, the events that follow will prove to be even more shocking, resulting in intense public scrutiny and a lawsuit that plans to challenge the American legal system.
There you go. The driver of this vehicle was following that red and blue semi-truck too closely, less than a second following distance. I was driving under the speed limit. Stop him up here at Mustang. Make sure everything's okay.
Officer Chris Brown pulls over Stephen Lara of Lubbock, Texas.
Travel interference. Hey, good morning, Trooper Brown, Nevada Highway Patrol. How are you today? I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your following distance, especially around commercial vehicles. Sure. Came up behind a red and blue tanker truck, a little bit too close behind him. Yeah, you got to navigate that. You got your driver's license with you?
Sure.
Awesome.
I appreciate you, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Do you have a registration card with you?
Well, it's a rental car here.
Okay.
So I do have my rental. If you don't mind, it's underneath here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any weapons in the vehicle?
No, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you can grab the rental contract, that'd be great, man.
Stephen tells the trooper that he's going to Portola, California to visit his daughters for the weekend before heading back down to Texas. He answers all of Trooper Brown's questions without hesitation and appears to be in good spirits, completely unaware that this seemingly average traffic stop will soon transform into an all-out nightmare.
You said your daughter lives up in Portola?
No, 2 daughters.
Okay, they both up in Portola?
Yes.
Come on over here, man.
All right.
You a fighter?
I'm a fighter?
Yeah, you got a tap-out shirt on.
Well, I've got a lot of training. I'm a retired Marine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What'd you do for the Corps?
Well, I was a data chief initially, but then they changed the MOS to cybersecurity chief.
Okay. When'd you get out of the Corps?
I got out about 2 years ago.
Give me a second, man. All right, just hang right there. Ever been in trouble with law enforcement before?
Never.
Okay.
While Trooper Brown radios in Stephen's information, Stephen truthfully answers all the questions about his job, hotel reservations, and weekend plans. However, Stephen will soon find out that this lighthearted chat might not be as innocent as it seems, as Trooper Brown is about to reveal that an unsafe following distance may not have been the only reason he was pulled over.
Hey, while I'm working on this, let me ask you something, man. This is going to sound kind of weird. Part of my job out here is I do what's called highway interdiction. I look for people that are smuggling contraband through our state, across the country, weapons, humans, drugs, illicit currency, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of? Okay. No firearms? No explosives? Okay. Is there any drugs in the vehicle? Cocaine?
I don't do drugs.
Yeah, I gotta ask all these silly questions, right? Okay. Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? Okay. What's a large amount of U.S. currency to you? Okay. So there's over 10,000 in there? Okay. How much money you got in there? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today? That's okay with you? Okay, perfect.
Regardless of one's belief in their own innocence, it's advisable to not consent to a search of one's vehicle under any circumstances. Although he has the right to refuse, Stephen voluntarily agrees to let the trooper search his car, completely unaware of just how much he will come to regret that decision. As Trooper Brown gets the paperwork ready, Trooper E.J. Tumanovau arrives on the scene.
Big job this way.
I'm about to see my daughters.
Right on. Out here in Reno? Out here in Reno?
Yeah. Well, Portola, California.
They doing okay?
I know you guys are suspicious, so I'm asking lots of questions so I can get to. Yeah, I'm not really worried about anything, so I'll give you any information you want. But
As Trooper Brown gives Stephen the paperwork to read and sign, Trooper Tumanoval heads to his vehicle to get his sniffer dog, Jill, nicknamed Jillybean, to see if she finds anything suspicious.
Jillybean, 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 you're a pretty girl. We go play.
While some dogs sit to signal a positive hit, other dogs are trained to freeze, just as it appears Jill does while searching the car. After letting Trooper Brown know it was a positive alert, Trooper Brown searches the contents of the trunk when he comes across a camo backpack. Meanwhile, Stephen drops a bombshell on the trooper when he reveals just how much a lot of cash really means.
You guys do this to everybody, or?
I just stopped out with you. Our job is to look for traffickers. I'm not saying you are.
I'm a retired Marine.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I was just called here to help out.
Must be the haircut.
Is it? I don't know. I almost got the same if I would put it down. I don't know.
He's gonna find a large amount of cash in there.
Is he?
That's okay, because I got my receipts in there too, so.
How much cash?
A lot.
Hey, he said there's a large amount of cash in there.
I already told him.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
But in the same bag, you're gonna find all my Bank of America and all my receipts. I don't trust banks, so I keep cash.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So I don't have anything to hide from you guys. And I know it's not illegal to keep a large amount of cash either. So.
Nope, not at all. How much cash you got?
Probably about 100 grand.
100 grand? Oof. Have you ever been stopped before and had money taken from you? From the government?
No.
No?
I know you guys, it's not illegal to have a large amount of cash either.
No, not at all. Nothing's wrong with that. This is Reno, so we get people coming with a large amount of cash all the time to go gamble. And
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with you taking my cash because it is mine, and I do have proof that it's mine.
Trooper Tumanoval shows an interest in the tire sitting in the trunk of Stephen's rental car.
what's in the tire?
Cracked rim. I'm getting it repaired over here.
Are you?
Yeah. You guys can cut that tire up and look inside if you want, but I would ask that y'all reimburse me for the tire.
Right. Oh yeah, the state would do, if we did it, if it came to that. But we have items that we can check first before you get to that point.
Whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Trooper Brown makes a call to someone who, according to court documents, is DEA agent Shane Murray.
Hey Shane, how are you? Good. Hey, can you head out to a traffic stop? Or are you busy on that other stuff all today? So if I'm still searching a car, but a big bundle of money, it says probably at least 100,000.
After telling Agent Murray their location, Trooper Brown continues to search the contents of the trunk.
Hey, Brown, you just got something to tell you about the rim.
Y'all like real suspicious and all? That rim is cracked. If you grab my phone, which is in the car, and you look at the last number I dialed, just hit redial. I won't even touch the phone. You'll see that there's a place up here in Reno that fixes cracked rims.
Okay.
And they'll pick up, and all you gotta do is identify it, and you'll see that I was trying to take that in to get that cracked rim fixed. I cracked it in Texas because it's snowing, and the roads are and there's big potholes and everything. So I'm just trying to get it fixed because I know the place up here that fixes it, and that's all I was trying to do.
I appreciate that, sir.
No worries.
Unfortunately for Stephen, despite his assurance, Trooper Brown is still unsure of him.
This doesn't make sense. There's some receipts in here, though. But
You said you put receipts on. Show us this money.
okay.
But
All right, man. So here's the deal. All right. I think you're a good guy. I don't know.
I'm a good day.
So how much cash is that?
About 100 grand.
100 grand. Okay. So as you know, right? I'm a vet. He's a vet. You're a vet. It's not illegal to carry currency. That's currency. It does, though, make us ask some questions on why someone has 100,000. I can understand why you don't trust banks, especially in this day and age right now.
Discipline and lots of savings.
What's that?
Discipline and lots of savings.
So with that being said, if you're willing to talk to me about it a little bit, I'd like to. I know you got a bunch of receipts in there. I just want to make sure that it is your currency, that it's not being used for nefarious activities, right? That it's not money laundering or something like that going on. That's the questions that are raised, that potentially money laundering or something like that's going on. So
That money right there, It's for my 2 daughters.
Okay. You gonna give it to him on this trip or no? Or that's just your nuts?
That's my money and my two daughters' money and nobody else's.
Okay.
I take that money right there and I buy them things. I put food on the table. I buy them clothes with that right there.
Fair enough.
That's me looking at you man to man in your eyes and telling you exactly what that is.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I got some questions I'm gonna want to ask you here in a few minutes. If you're willing to answer them, I'd appreciate that.
I have nothing to hide from you.
After Stephen agrees to further questioning, Trooper Brown reaches out to his sergeant, Glenn Rigdon, to update him on how things are progressing.
It's a strange one, but not a strange one. Consented to a search, said there was money up there. We located what he says is $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
Although it's not known what Agent Murray says to Trooper Brown, the call only lasts for about 40 seconds, and Trooper Brown informs him that he will start a brief with him, likely referring to Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Stephen, you don't have any weapons on you, right? I know you're in... You mind if I just pat you down real quick? Face my car real quick, man. Bird, man, do me a favor. Have a seat in my front seat for me.
As with all other previous requests made by officers, this is something Stephen is more than willing to go along with because, as he puts it, he has nothing to hide. Unfortunately, however, he still doesn't seem to realize that the more he agrees to go along with their requests, the deeper the hole he has dug for himself will grow. Now that Stephen is aware of his rights, Trooper Brown can finally begin the questioning process.
So, what is the source of the currency that you have there?
Sources and how do I make my money?
Yeah.
I'm a retired U.S. Marine. I get money from the VA for my disability. And it's money that I have earned from my employment, my job, doing IT work for a hospital. Sure.
Why do you transport bulk currency like that?
Well, there's nothing illegal about it.
No.
It's, I keep it on my person and I secure it.
Okay. So for security?
I don't trust banks. That's
Okay.
why I have a large amount of currency there with all the receipts, which I keep in there for this type of purpose, in case anybody questions it. And if those receipts get looked into, you'll see that those are my accounts, that those deposits are made for, or those withdrawals are made from.
Stephen goes on to inform the trooper that he owns a debit card and only uses banks for direct deposits before he answers even more questions about the money.
Is there any reason that you can think of that a trained drug detection canine would alert to the presence of drug odor coming from that vehicle?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I gave you a consent to search the vehicle. I have nothing to hide, so
Okay.
if the dog alerted you guys, I can't tell you where it's coming from because I don't do that stuff.
Okay.
Nor do I have it. That is a rental car, so I don't know. I can't control what happened before I got it.
Fair
I can't
enough.
control what happens after I drop it off.
In cases such as this one, if officers persist in questioning, it's typically because they lack sufficient evidence and are seeking information that could be used against the individual. At this juncture, it's crucial to cease further communication and seek legal representation. Stephen is being fully cooperative here, and yet the treatment he gets is contrary to law enforcement's claims that cooperation would prevent such actions.
If the currency was to be utilized for a business transaction, personal purchase, is it going to be used for any of those, or is this just your savings?
It's my savings, and I plan on buying, getting a home.
Okay.
For my daughters and I in Texas.
Okay. So you're planning to use that to buy a home in Texas?
But yes, absolutely.
Although Stephen has been an open book throughout this entire process, Trooper Tumanovow is keen to take Stephen's amenability a step further.
Hey, so you said you're okay with us going with your phone?
What do you want to go through my phone? What are you looking for?
Just trying to verify everything's correct like you've been telling us.
The only thing I'm authorizing you guys to do is make the last phone call I made just to verify that I was going to take that tire, that rim in to get it fixed.
Okay.
But, I got personal pictures and stuff on there. I don't want you guys looking at pictures and stuff. You understand?
I want both of your pictures if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I can look at everything else but your pictures?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine? Okay.
Despite any officer's demeanor or apparent friendliness, it's imperative that one refuses access to their cell phone in a given situation. As awkward as it must be to have a stranger look through your phone, Stephen has no idea how much more uncomfortable things will get. But while the questioning comes to a close, Sergeant Rigdon pulls up to the scene where he can be heard taking a call from DEA Agent Murray.
What's up, Shane?
there was just no way I was going to be able to make it out there.
No issues. It's too easy to do an adoption. You know, we contacted you, so I think everything's going to be okay. And I'll text you the money count after we get it. It'll probably be a couple hours.
For those who are unaware, adoption refers to the process of property seizure by law enforcement agencies as permitted by the U.S. Department of Justice's Equitable Sharing Program. When an adoption takes place, the federal agency keeps 20% of the proceeds, whilst the remaining 80% kicks back to the state or local agency, which is, in this case, the Nevada Highway Patrol.
So here's the money. He has a ton of receipts. He's in the military, gets the VA money.
Is that what we're getting in for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one for backpack. You guys get pictures?
I think Kristen, yeah. I'll put it on the car. We haven't done it.
While processing this information, Sergeant Rigdon briefly examines a bag of MoneyGrams and what appears to be money orders.
Balance is 1246.
Having finished questioning Stephen, Trooper Brown asked Trooper Tumanovau to hang out with Stephen so he can share his findings with Sergeant Rigdon.
And these balances never... Got no balances on all these. But these are like 2019. I mean, there's not a lot in there.
Since the arrival of Sergeant Rigdon, Stephen appears slightly agitated, perhaps finally realizing just how out of control this situation has gotten. Despite his frustrations, Stephen still manages to keep his cool, unaware that Sergeant Rigdon is about to test his patience even further.
Come out here after? I know if you don't have time for me, it's all good.
No, it's a little frustrated, man, because I'm being treated like a criminal right now, and it's not your fault. This had a lot of bad experience in the past. I get it, bro.
It's very, very odd to carry 100K in cash like that.
Yeah, but it's not illegal. But I can understand.
It's not illegal, but
I can understand your perspective. And everybody's been very professional. I didn't have anything to hide. That's why I let you search my vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I told the gentleman here I don't trust banks.
But you have 5 different banks to deal with. You got Wells Fargo, you got Plumas Bank, you got the Bank of America, and then there's one other bank in there. So I mean, you do trust banks.
Well, no, I don't, because if you look at
and direct deposit has to come to a bank too.
I'm sure it does. It goes to Bank of America. Yeah. But if you look at my banks, there's no money in it. That's why those receipts. That's why I keep them. So if you call the banks and he asks them, and I'll call them right now and ask, or I can show you what's in my bank accounts.
Despite Stephen's conviction, he'll soon learn that no amount of reasoning will help him out of this situation.
So why the distrust for the banking system?
I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's just my reasoning. It's my personal thing.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you one or the other. It's just it's not usual.
I understand.
And so we're looking for the unusual.
Sure.
You know,
I understand.
With the currency and stuff. I mean, somebody ripped you off, or I mean, you look like you could take care of yourself in a fight, but you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going around with cash.
Well, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, how long did it take you to accumulate that much?
Oh God. I started saving since I was on the Marine Corps, 20 years.
How come it's all hundreds?
So I don't have to keep more. Oh. I mean, if those were all ones, my God, I'd have to,
So you get more. Yeah. We usually weigh. It's actually a cool trick. So one bill weighs 1 gram. Mm-hmm. So if you weigh that and get the grams, and you multiply it by 100, you can tell by weight roughly what it is.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So you can weigh your money and watch it grow.
Learn something new every day.
It's very, very odd. We're going to do a little bit further investigation on it, and you'll be on your way very soon. So.
Sure.
After expressing his suspicions to Stephen, Sergeant Rigdon consults Trooper Brown, giving him an opportunity to share his opinion on the matter at hand.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I kind of leaning more towards it's odd, but
it's odd, but it's not packaged like normal.
No, and he's answering the questions. There's receipts here, and
I would like to put the dog on the currency, man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean everything lines, as odd as it is, everything lines up.
But the travel story and stuff like that, man, I'm gonna get out my scale and weigh that.
Sergeant Rigdon requests the assistance of a second sniffer dog. This time, Trooper Brown uses his own dog to detect the bag of money. Trooper Brown's dog has just given a positive hit on the bag of money. However, it should be noted that according to a comprehensive review by the Journal of Forensic Sciences, several studies have shown that between 67 and 100% of circulated U.S. currency is contaminated with cocaine, leading them to the conclusion that a positive canine alert to U.S. currency is not sufficiently reliable to determine that currency was used in an illicit drug transaction.
Positive alert.
We'll go forward with it.
Okay.
With the go-ahead from his sergeant to begin the adoption, Trooper Brown walks to his truck to get a bank bag. Meanwhile, Stephen looks noticeably more antsy as he seems to realize where this is headed.
So notice the cash is not there anymore. Where's it at?
The sergeant took it. They did a secondary sniff to see what spot. I don't know what happened with that. Everything was on camera.
Okay. I'm just asking because that's my money.
Hey, I get it. No worries.
Soon, the sheriff arrives and is caught up on the situation.
We got a positive alert on the currency by itself. They had a positive alert on the car. Right now, we are just trying to determine whether or not it was proceeds. I believe it is proceeds. It is a big brick. And they're not old bills. He claims he's been saving it up over 20 years.
I hit 20-year bills.
No. No, those are all current bills. So.
It's really good, but it's just.
His travel plans are consistent with what we see with drug traffickers. So how much is in there?
About 100,000.
About 100,000. That money has not been saved up over 20 years. It's newer bills, so they're not 20-year-old bills. And
No.
it's not 100,000.
Okay, well, I'm guessing. And so that's my life savings. I've been saving since, so I went in the Marine Corps, which is in 2000. So that I've been saving for the last 20 years.
Roger. What we're going to do, I believe there's drug proceeds dog related to it.
Drug proceeds?
Yeah, it's very common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana from Northern California to all states east, even from Reno.
Sir, I can tell you right now,
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, okay? We're going to seize it today, but that doesn't mean we're the final judgment on it. It's going to go through the DEA, okay? So the DEA will contact you, and the DEA will provide you with a means to fight it. You're going to have to provide your pay stubs. You're going to have to provide your other receipts, stuff like that. Okay?
After receiving this distressing news, Stephen desperately tries to convince Sergeant Rigdon of his innocence one last time, not realizing that his mind has already been made up.
So if you take that money, I don't have any money for me and my kids this weekend. I don't have anything.
You got a wallet on you?
No. My jacket's in the car.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
You don't have a wallet? Where do you keep your identifications?
It's in my jacket.
Okay. Got it.
I'm telling you, God is my witness. Now, I mean, I'm a retired Marine. I don't have any reason to do drugs or anything like that. That's my life savings right there for me and my daughters.
I respect your service, sir. I serve as well. Okay. I have caught cops doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and they go to jail for whatever they're doing.
That's not me.
So you're who you are doesn't influence whether or not we take action on what we see. Okay. If it is legitimately earned income, you're going to be able to provide those pay stubs, and they'll give you all your money back. But I believe it's drug proceeds.
It's not drug proceeds, sir. I'm telling you right now, it's not. I don't do drugs, sir. You want to do a drug test today? Let's do a drug test. I'm okay with that.
You know what a lot of drug traffickers use?
I don't know anything about drug trafficking.
I don't know. I don't know what you know, sir. But a lot of drug traffickers want these people with absolutely no criminal history. A guy with a long drug history or drug trafficking history is not going to be the one transporting the currency or transporting the drugs themselves.
Here's the thing. That money in there is, like I said, that money is my life savings. I'd like to go through. You want to take it? Okay. I'm going to give me an attorney. I want to know exactly how much you're taking.
I'll tell you what it weighed out at.
No, I would like to go bill by bill.
No, we're not going to bill by bill. What you'll see is us seal it into a bag, okay, into a bank bag.
Can I take a picture of that?
Yeah,
I'd like to take a picture of it.
As his reality comes crashing down, Stephen, while still remaining respectful, becomes more firm, a development which appears to take the sergeant aback slightly.
Do you mind if I take a video of it being sealed? I'd like to do that.
I think, you know what, you're on video right now, and we'll give you the case number, and you can request that information. You can request the entire recording and its entire stop.
Okay.
Everything that we did, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. And I've been totally cooperative with you guys.
I appreciate that, sir.
There's a receipt down there on the ground. I believe that's mine.
Hey, Dave, can you pick up that piece of paper? Yeah.
Throughout this incident, Stephen was under no obligation to answer all of their questions. It's evident that his willingness to cooperate was being exploited, and instead of acknowledging his innocence, the officers attempted to utilize his responses as a pretext to seek justification for seizing the cash. As Stephen is left with no choice but to come to terms with what happened, Trooper Brown has been busy bagging up his life savings. But before he's sent on his way, Stephen has some parting words for Trooper Brown.
Just want to let you know, I know you're just doing your job. Money that I have in my jacket is only $2. I need to pay for my kids, bills, my hotel, or even if you got to text. No way riding for my children or stuff like that. Get back to Texas. I know you're just doing what you feel is best, but
Like you know, my sergeant. It sounded like my sergeant talked to you about that a little bit, and told you what was going on, and those lines. So,
I just wanted to tell you, Officer Brown, I mean, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
sorry.
Or you're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds, illicit currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
After taking down names and badge numbers, Stephen drives away, likely still reeling from that 90-minute whirlwind. Shortly after, Sergeant Rigdon and Trooper Brown head over to the bank to deposit the cash.
Yeah, that's perfect. You guys must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
The amount of money the Nevada Highway Patrol seized from Stephen turned out to be $86,900. Stephen made good on his promise to get an attorney, and his case wound up being taken on by the Institute for Justice, a nonprofit advocating for forfeiture reform and other issues they consider abuses of government power. Although the federal government had 90 days to obtain a criminal indictment, obtain an extension, or initiate federal civil forfeiture proceedings after a valid claim to the property had been filed, the money wasn't returned to him until over 6 months later after the lawsuit was filed, and after the media attention caused by Stephen's story being featured on the front page of the Washington Post. It's likely that the officers were aware of insufficient grounds to justify the seizure of the funds, which may explain the delay in filing the necessary action for the seizure or forfeiture of the money. Not wanting this to happen to anyone else, Stephen and IJ also sued the Nevada Highway Patrol in state court, but the case was put on pause for almost all of 2022. In January 2024, a judge rejected the Highway Patrol's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, allowing Stephen's claims to move forward. It only remains to be seen if Stephen will be awarded the ultimate justice for what he endured on that fateful day.